guest, he's an actor with an unparalleled body of work, which includes, but not limited to, Quest for Fire, The Ice Pirates, Beauty and the Beast, Batman the Animated Series, City of Lost Children, Blade 2, Teen Titans, Sons of Anarchy, Adventure Time, and several Hellboy projects. Please welcome Ron Perlman! Mr. Perlman, we had to stand the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
I used to be able to pick the mic up better, too. People, I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know who the fuck you've been listening to all day. It's not going to get any better than this.
Real quick, one project I'd love to talk about with you because I was a huge fan of it. Startup. I really love that shit. All right, there you go. Thank you. Don't forget that. There you go.
Turns out Kurt is a really kinky motherfucker.
Hi.
How many of us made out with her on that show? It wasn't just me, I was her husband. She had 15 other guys on the show, too.
Okay. Hello, Hannah.
Hello.
The input on the characters that I play?
No, I'm sorry, on Clay in Sons of Anarchy, did you have any input on his character or any of his lines, or was it all...
No. Aside from being a kinky motherfucker, Kurt really didn't give a shit what we thought.
The comics for the role, and did you meet Mike Mignola, and how cool was that?
So we did the movie in 2003. I think in the late 90s, 2003. So in 1994, I had a dinner with Guillermo, and he said, "Hurry up and finish. I have to take you someplace." He took me to this comic book store on Sunset Boulevard in LA, and there was like a floor-to-ceiling statue of Hellboy. And he said, "Hellboy, meet Ron Perlman. Ron is going to play you in the movie." This was in 1994. And I started laughing. I said, "In what world do you think you can get a comic book movie made with me starring in it, you know?" And it took Guillermo literally 7 years to get somebody to agree to let me play Hellboy. He could have made the movie literally 75 times already, had he not been so determined to get me the role. And, but I knew that nobody would ever greenlight the movie with me in it, because those are big investments. And it's not that I'm a shitty actor, although I am, but I'm not a movie star. I've never been a movie star, a character actor. And you know, the studios like to bank on bankable movie stars. I get that, and I don't take it personally. So I deliberately stayed away from reading the comic books or finding out anything more about Hellboy, because I didn't want to fall in love with him, only to have my heart broken by watching fucking Nick Cage, you know, do the movie. Getting the movie greenlit, where I read all the comic books and met with Mignola, and Mignola was on the set for the whole first movie. He was actually, you know, he did a cameo role in the movie, you know, we hung out, you know. And I got a first row view as to who Hellboy was, how he got created, what Mike was thinking, who he thinks he is and stuff. So it was phenomenal, but it took a while. People figure out better use of their fucking time. I don't see it personally. Even my own wife sent me this. She discovered it. You know, she said, "Look at this. Doesn't this cat look like you?" I slammed the door right in her face. I can't tell you. No, you're gonna really laugh when I tell you this, but it's the only part I really ever wanted to play and never was given the chance. Is Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof.
Great question.
Want to lose all your money, your shirt, everything? My favorite line was from Hellboy, and it was written specifically for me by Guillermo, and that is, I'm getting drunk with Abe Sapien, and I keep offering him another beer, and he says, I can't, my body is a temple. And I say, well, mine's an amusement park here. That's my favorite line. Fan of my work, bro, really. I don't really feel like I ever completely nailed anything. You know, I always feel like there's something I could have done better. You know, I'm always, I'm the biggest critic, you know, and I'm not being coy or, you know, like overly modest or anything, but I think there's a lot of us that have trouble watching our own work, you know, actors. We have.
He still has his hair, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering if you had any memories, even though it was a short-lived part, from when you played Conan's dad.
Yeah, I said, oh, I'm in a Conan movie. Those things are guaranteed to make money. The thing made $40 on opening weekend. Was that your question?
Yes, you answered half of it, and what role or what point in your life did somebody really piss you off? But the other end was, at what point in your career did you say, I've made it?
Only really recently. Like, you get to be, I'm 73, and I think when I turned 70, people realize he's not going to live much longer, and so we need to tell him that we're okay with you. You know, I mean, I'm starting to feel, and I'm being very sincere right now. Recently, I've been starting to feel very appreciated. You know, in a setting like this, where I'm meeting new people and in new communities, you know, I don't spend a lot of time in Columbus, Ohio, but the love that I've received today is just off the chain.
Before we go though, we're gonna take a bounce kind of space selfie.
Sports ball terms. Learning sports ball terms. So Vader was a bad guy, and when we got out there, people recognized us from our show, and they were like, Corey Sean, you suck! We were like trying to keep acting and stay in character. We had to do multiple takes. It was horrible. We were so nervous.
With him as a Shakespearean actor.
That's
And
great.
it's he and I sword fighting, so I remember we do this great sword fight, we're doing the whole monologue, it's Mercutio and it's Romeo and they're fighting, and then all of a sudden, Pat comes up to me and we slam the swords together and I go, prepare to die, Jedi Master. And I was like, that line I got. But the rest of it was a little tough. Yeah, that was a fun and difficult week, that's for sure. What was your toughest scene?
I mean, I don't know. I love doing the comedy.
Yeah.
That was not fun. In fact, I was like eating that up. I was like, give me more.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The tough stuff was the dramatic stuff, I guess, you know, with you, Ryder.
What our dad does and stuff like that.
That would have been the toughest stuff for me. Also, that was very early on, so, you know. But after that, they just threw me kind of in the ring with this guy.
Yeah. I wonder if they planned that. What if they knew that you and I were going to end up buddy-buddy, or if they started...
Oh boy. Yeah. See, I was a weird kid. The pictures I had in my locker were of like reptiles, so I had like Sorry, guys.
Bearded
not really the
toad.
image you wanted, but it's the image you got. You know, I mean, I don't know. I guess like I don't know. It was either like maybe it was like a toss-up between Michelle Pfeiffer, Halle Berry. Those two were.
When I was a kid, was plastered with Marilyn Monroe kind of everywhere, so I was a big fan of Marilyn Monroe. But I also had, you know, my kid crushes when I was growing up, and Jenny Lewis when I was a kid I was a big fan of Jenny Lewis. I loved oh, I forget her name now, it's such a shame. From Can't Buy Me Love. Does anybody remember her name? She was so pretty, and I can't remember her name.
What was her name?
She was in The Explorers.
Yes.
I mean,
I can see
great.
her
Yeah,
face
I can
right
too.
now.
I can too. There were some great ones. But then my first one that I really remember was Dana Plato from Different Strokes. So that.
When she was a kid, I actually worked with her later, and like we became friends. She's now married to Patton Oswalt. I was so in love
Oh,
with her.
yeah, I know who you're talking
So
about.
in love with her.
Yeah.
And then my brother did a movie up in Portland. He ended up getting cut out of the movie, but he came back. It was this movie called Foxfire, which nobody really ever heard of, but I watched it because my brother was originally in it, and Angelina Jolie was in this movie, and I just became obsessed. I was so...
Teacher who was obsessed with David Letterman. It's an odd choice for a 13-year-old girl, I understand, but I carried his photo around in my wallet. And I was obsessed with his show. I thought he was a comedic genius. I absolutely loved him. And my real teenage boyfriend, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, when
He taught me how to do it. I just didn't, I mean, as an actor, your first instinct is if you have, you know, Matt says a line, well, that's fine, except when the microphone's in front of you. So it was little things like Kevin going, nope, gotta speak right to the microphone. So it was like anything else, it was having to learn the technical aspect of doing it, and then once I did, then you just lose yourself in being able to play in front of a microphone. It's just the most free and wonderful form of acting you'll ever do because it's just you and a mic. It's great. So yeah, a ton of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, hi.